You are welcome back to Astro Digital Technologies YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, we are going to be looking at correlated subquery in SQL. My name is Ezekiah Omoyemi. What is correlated subquery in SQL? A correlated subquery in SQL is a type of subquery that depends on the outer query for its values. In other words, the inner query, which is the subquery, references a column from the outer query, and the inner query is executed repeatedly, once for each row processed by the outer query. So this is what is called correlated subquery in SQL. By the way, if you haven't watched the subquery tutorial, you can use the link above or in the description box below. In today's case study, let's see how we can apply correlated subquery. And I'm going to be using my HR database. In the first case study, we want to find employees whose salaries are greater than the average salary of all employees. How can we do this? To do this, we start with the select statement. Select from where now? From employees. From employee, the employee ID, the first name, the last name, and salary. So these are the columns we are going to be selecting from. We want to select from the employees table. From where now? From employees table. Now, let's start our subquery now. We say where words, where salary is words is greater than, we open, then we say, oh, should be employee ID. Employee ID, then this is going to be our word. This is going to be our subquery. Let us select what are we selecting now? The average salary, open parentheses, then this is going to be salary from where now? From employees. From employees, close the parentheses, and semicolon. Now, looking at this query, this query, this is a subquery in which I have used the where clause statement. This is the where clause statement. So there are some points that you can see from this query. There are some points you can see from this query. First, you can execute the words, this subquery itself. You can execute this word subquery itself. Can you see now? The subquery is executable, right? So this is the first thing. Then second, the database system needs to evaluate the subquery only once. So the database system needs to evaluate the subquery only once. And thirdly, the outer query, which is this now, The outer query, which is this, makes use of the results returned from the word. It makes use of the results returned from the word, from the subquery here. So the outer query, which is this, depends on the subquery for its values from our definition. However, the subquery does not depend on the words on the outer query. This does not depend on the outer query because this itself is executable. Sometimes we call this subquery as is the word, we call them a plain subquery. So let us execute the whole query now for you to see our result. Can you see the result? Can you see the result? Now, I said that this one is what? It can also be called a what? A plain subquery. But unlike a plain subquery itself, a correlated subquery is a query that uses the values from the what? From the outer query. So this is how you can use what? Subquery, correlated subquery in SQL. So let us see our second example. In this second example, we are going to be using correlated subquery in the where clause. And the problem we want to solve says what? We should find all employees whose salary is higher than the average salary of the employees in their what? In their department. How can we do this? To solve this, we say what? Select the employee ID, the first name. I'm going to be concatenating this. I'm going to be concatenating this and the last name as employee underscore name underscore name. Then I'm going to the salary column as well. The department's ID from employees table. From the employees table. From the employees table, where what? Where salary is greater than, then our subquery will not be select what? Average salary, open parentheses, average salary, close this, from what? From employees, where what? Where department ID is equal to what? E dot department ID. We close the parentheses. Then we will say what? Order by what? Order by department ID, order by department ID, and the employee name, semicolon. Let us execute the query now, and let's see what we have. Okay. And let us see what we have here. No, sugar, expand, open this. And here we go. As you can see now, this is the word. This is the result. You can see it has grouped them. You can see this person, this department ID2, ID3, ID5, and till the last ID. So what happened here is you can see two things occur here. The first one is the outer query. This is the outer query. The outer query. Now, the outer query and the word and the correlated subquery is what is this. So this is the correlated word subquery. So what happened here is that for each employee, the database system has to execute the word, the correlated subquery once to calculate the word, the average salary of the employees in the department of the word, of the current employees. So that is what happened in these words, in this query. Let us continue. So in the second example here, we want to see how we can use correlated subquery in the select clause statement. Let's see how we can use this. And there is a question that says what? We should return the employees and the average salary of all employees in their department using the select clause statement. So how do we do this? To start with, we say what? Select our outer query. Now will be what? Employees what? Employee ID. Then what again? Let us concatenate the first name and the last name. The first name and the word. The first name and the last name and the last name as what? Employee underscore name. Employee underscore name. Then we are selecting the word. We want to get their department words, the department's name, the department's name, and the salary, comma. Then let us introduce our select clause now. We say open parentheses and select words. What are you selecting? Now, we want to select the salary, but we are going to round it up. We want to round it up. Then we say the average salary, open parentheses, the salary, close the parentheses towards 0, and close this. The next thing we will do here is saying from where now? From what? From employees table, from employees table where what? Where department ID equals to E dot what? E dot department underscore ID. We close this. Then the average what? Average salary in what? In department. Average salary in departments from where now? Employees table E. S table E. Then we are going to, because we want to get the department name, so we are using the inner join. Say inner join what? Departments, the department which is D on what? On D dot what? Department ID equals to E dot what? Department ID. Then we are going to what? Order by what? We are going to order by the department name and then the employee name. Then semicolon. Let us execute our query. And here we go. The output is this. This is the output. Can you see the output? So for each employee, what the database does is that the database system has to execute the correlated subquery once to calculate the average salary by the employees department. So this is the correlated subquery here. This is the correlated subquery. So it has to what? To the system, the database system has to execute it once to calculate the average salary. And then the last example here is what? Correlated subquery with exist operator. We often use a correlated subquery with the exist operator. And here we want to say, the question says we should find all employees who have no dependents, that has no what? Dependent. So using the exist operator. To do this, let us write our outer query. Our outer query will now be what? The employees right? Okay. We are selecting, what are we selecting from here? We are going to select the employee ID, the first name, the last name, from employees, where now this is where we are going to introduce our exist operator. Because we want to find all employees who have no dependents, we say what? No, not exists. Not what? Exists. open a parenthesis now to write our subquery. We say what? Select our correlated subquery will now be select. What are we selecting now? All. So we use the asterisk sign from where now? Dependent words, dependent table D. Where words? Where D dot words, the employee ID equals to words, E in the employees table dot words, employee underscore ID, you close the parentheses. Exists. Okay. Employee ID equals to employee underscore ID. Then we say what? Order by the first name and the last name. Let us execute our query. Okay, employee ID could not be found. Okay, we say E dot employee. Let us execute this and let's see what we have. Here we go, right? Yes. So this is the what? This is the result. So these are all the employees that have no what? No dependent. So this is how you can use correlated subquery in SQL. I hope you have learned one or two things. And if you haven't watched the subquery tutorial, you can use the link in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.